All right, so let's go ahead and bring the screen back. Okay, so you can hear me?
Yes.
Got it. All right, and you can see the screen?
Yes.
All right, so what, um, so you're gonna see, you'll get a sheet that looks like this, right? And you can see the sheet.
Yeah.
And then on the sheet, right, all these are different, these are different opportunities, right? But there's two types, right? So if you go to the
Right.
notice type, these are sources sought, right? And then you'll see either uh, a combined synopsis solicitation, or you'll just see one that says solicitation. The difference, so anything that says solicitation or combined synopsis solicitation, those are basically like we can bid on those and we can try to win the contract, right? The sources sought, right? It's not really we can bid on it, but we want to reach out to them because if we reach out to them and let them know, hey, we can do this project, then they might just award it to us where we don't even have to compete to win it.
Right.
So
Right.
the sources sought just take a little they're better for us, but it takes a little bit more time for the sales cycle to complete. Um so does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
All right, so
That's clear.
you'll have these two, this list will be compiled for you, right? You won't have to make this as of right now. Now on it, it'll be color coded because it's having it is each one of these are different places, right, in the cycle. So if we look at the sources sought, right, it's either going to be white or this baby blue color, right, and you can always check the legend on what it means. So the baby blue means basically you reached out to the person who is white means nothing's happened with it, it's just on the list, no one's touched it. Baby blue
Right.
means basically you reached out to them and you sent them a capability statement, and the capability statement is this document here, and you'll have access to it, right? So when you and we'll go over exactly what that process is in a second when you're reaching out to them. Or it'll be this color, which means, hey, you reached out to them and the contracting officer responded back. Uh, or it'll be blue and blue. So these are the three that basically, when you're dealing with sources sought. When you're dealing with the actual solicitations, they're going to be more in this white, blue, purple, um, orange, green, and red. So
Right.
if it's white, that means no one's touched it, nothing's happened on it. If it's blue, that means you've called somebody, right, and you've asked them to send you a quote, but maybe they haven't sent the quote yet. And we'll go over why you need to have quotes in a second. If it's purple, that means you called them, you asked for a quote, and they sent one back. And then
Right.
if it's orange, right? So you can see these ones are blue, blue, right? That means a quote came back in from the people that you had to call. If it's orange, you can see these are actual a proposal was submitted and they're just waiting to see if they're going to give us the contract or not for us to do the work. And then if it's red, that means we moved on from it or we just didn't win the contract. And then green, you can see, hey, we won the contract, we're doing the work. So, how does the process work? So once we get the information, right? You want to get familiar with this website, which is called sam.gov, right? Because this is
Yeah.
where all this information is coming from. So let's just go to one of these. Or first, let's go over the information on here. This first one is going to be basically the name ID, right? And that's on how you can find the solicitation, right? The second one is the title, and that's going to be telling you kind of like what work are they looking to be done here, right? So this one they're looking to have a video surveillance system put in. And this is just a more in-depth description of the title. And then this is the date that you have to have either, if it's a source is sought, that's when you have to respond by, or if it's a proposal, that's the date that you have to submit the proposal by. And it gives you the date and the time. Now, on these, a typical one, it'll look like it won't have the contact number, the email, right? It won't have that. So you can see one that's working, it has that. The other stuff, when you get it, it'll look more like this white. And so as you're going through working this stuff, you need to put that in so you can follow up. So let's say we're going to do this one right here. I would take this, I would copy it, and then I'll go over to sam.gov. I'll put it in, right? I've already put it in. And so, well, first let me show you what it looks like without, when you first come to this. So when you first come to it, it's going to look something like this, right? So you come here, and then you just hit enter. And then sometimes it'll show up right away, or sometimes it'll show up with a bunch of other ones, and it might have like 1,000 results. And so what you'll need to do is go over here and go to exact phrase. So only this one will come up because there's only one that's going to be by that ID number. All right. So once you do that, then you click on it. Once you click on it, then you can get the other information. So you will also need to, if you're dealing with a particular solicitation, right? You're gonna need to download this stuff, right? And I'll show you why it's important in a second. But right, so here's the contact person, because this is the person you need to submit the email to, right? So you want to take this and you'll add it to this sheet. So, right, this is the email address. We're gonna put in the email line. This is the phone number. I'll take it and put it in the phone number. Now I clean that up a little bit, so it's just the phone number, and boom, now you got that. All right, so now I know who to email. Then the next thing is, I'm gonna download this information here, right? So I'm gonna click and I'm gonna download this. So I've already downloaded it, and so, and right now we're working as if we're trying to put in for a solicitation to win the contract. So when I come over here, right, I've downloaded it, and so this is all the information in here. So what we want out of this information is what's called, it'll either say performance of work or statement of work, right? And that's what SOW means. That means statement of work. And what that means is what you have to do on the job. And so let's open it up, right? So if we were to open it up, and sometimes you might have to edit it slightly, edit the document slightly, just because when you're sending it over to someone to get a quote, you don't want it to have all the contract jargon on there. They just need to know what they need to do, and I'll show you. So the first step would be, here's the statement of work right here. Right, and I'll show you this so that you'll see what it looks like in a second once it opens up. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, so here's a statement of work, and you can see it has like all this contract information and stuff like that. They don't need that, right? So Sama, Hold on 1 second. I have to take this call.
Okay, no problem.
Hello? Hey, how you doing, Rome?